Hello, I'm Chris Jesson, otherwise known as Groovy Gardening UK or the Groovy Gardener in some circles, and I'm working with Meadowview Stone here on a number of different products in their Horticultural Eden collection, including the Silver Sand and the Horticultural Sand. And I'm going to, in this video, show you the difference between the two types of uses and so forth in my garden here up in Nottinghamshire. So another use of the horticultural grade sand from Meadowview Stone is to consider it as a base within pots for perennials, but importantly for bulbs. Now I've got hyacinths here which are autumn planted and obviously spring flowering, but it's also the same for later flowering bulbs such as lilies, for example. The horticultural grade sand can be used here as a coarser texture. It won't allow too much water through. It allows it to percolate a little bit slower than if you'd not used it, and by putting that in the base of the pot along with the compost, yes, it's aiding drainage, it's also reducing the likelihood of certain bulbs from rotting, which you don't really want with, certainly you don't want with a hyacinth. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful, we don't want to do it with any bulb, but certain bulbs are more prone to that rot, particularly at the base like this. You'll often get it where the roots are starting to come out, and then that will significantly reduce the performance of the bulb, and in many cases will stop it from blooming properly. So as you can see, look, there's a pot lined with the horticultural sand. You could increase the amount of that. I've got several centimetres worth at the bottom, but you could actually, even in the case of hyacinths, you've got to remember that bulbs have got all of the energy stored within the elements of that bulb there, so they don't need any more than that other than water when they start going. So just bear that in mind. You might want to add some compost in there. Those of you who have seen my video for Meadowview Stone covering the iris bed will remember that I applied their horticultural pink grit, and here it is throughout the top dressing of this lovely iris bed. It's got other perennials in it, would you believe it? We've even got Nigellas back out in the autumn along amongst the dahlias. But the alternative product within the range of the Eden collection that you can use for this is the horticultural sand, and here it is. We'll bring it out into the open to show you. Here we go, look, coarse grade, it's darker sand than the silver sand that I showed you earlier, and that again can be used as a top dressing within the edges of the border. And perhaps if you've run out, you can always fill it in where it's a bit more discreet.